So if you have a Mohel that is not Shabbos observant, and you have a Shabbat Bris, can you hire him to come and do the Brit Milah on Shabbat? The first part of this has to do with the status of a non-Shabbos observant Mohel. This problem never comes up in the Gemara. Tosfos seems to categorically reject that somebody who violates and doesn't accept the Torah would be invalid. From Tosfos, it's very clear that he would be valid. And nevertheless, Ramah rules in Shulchan Aruch that somebody who rejects the entire Torah is invalid to do a Brit Milah. Immediately, major poskim disagree, including Rabbi Akiva Eger, who says that when it's necessary, everybody should agree that when it's necessary, such a person can do a Brit Milah. Nevertheless, many people are concerned with the Ramah. And they go one step further and say that a Shabbos violator is like somebody who rejects the entire Torah. Now, even if we follow the Ramah, there's many reasons to question that association. Even though there are times when we make that link, it's never made in this case. And here it's about the person's relationship to the mitzvah Brit Milah. So if you reject the whole Torah, it's one thing. But if you're just not Shabbos observant, what does that have to do with your relationship to Brit Milah? And finally, number 3, nowadays, we assume that violation is not about ideological rejection. It's because we live in a society in which people do not believe that they're actually fully obligated. So in cases where it is necessary, I believe you can rely on those poskim that say that somebody who violates Shabbat is a kosher Mohel, that we don't rule like Ramah, or even if we do, it does not apply to a Shabbos violator nowadays. How about hiring such a person to come? That's more complicated because you are directly making an arrangement that is causing that person to drive. And Rav Moshe Feinstein says something like that is considered mesit. You're enticing that person. You are making that person drive on Shabbat. Now, when you're not hiring the person, there are ways to deal with it. You could say, we'll give you an option to stay at our home. But when you are hiring the person, I believe Rav Moshe's point is particularly germane. And in that case, I think the only way to deal with it is if you say, I am hiring you on the condition that you are not going to drive here on Shabbat. You will either stay nearby or you'll take the bus, but you will not drive here. And if the Mohel agrees and then chooses to drive, that's not on you. So the Mohel is kosher when necessary. You can rely on that, but don't hire the person to come if you know he will drive. All the best.